Okay, people. Okay, people. I'll come back one more time tonight about this Ferguson deal. It is unspeakable for the governor to get up and say what he said. He's same as already prosecuted and indicted this police officer that this happened to. There's a whole bunch of new evidence come out. Now, I at first made videos about having him arrested and sent to trial. I think the governor needs to get out of it and quit saying stuff. Now they're going to bring a grand jury in, and I pray that you people that get called and up and be on this grand jury be open-minded to the whole thing. Look at all the evidence that's presented to you. It's pretty positive now that this young man, 18-year-old black man, was very large and very tall. And for some reason, he decided to have a struggle with a police officer right in the back of the car, and he broke the police officer's eye thing. But with all of this aggravation going on, and with the governor and other people saying this kind of stuff, there won't be a justice done. It won't be. Everybody will be already pretty well motivated to try and persecute this officer for doing his job. What was he supposed to do? Let this young man kill him? Would it that been okay? Would it that been good enough that he hadn't got his gun out and had to fire at this young man? What was this young man on? Was he on some kind of drugs? I mean, sounds like he was already on drugs. And you know, and it shows you, I've got it on my Facebook deal of where the film shows where he attacked this store owner and stole cigars. And then with now some witnesses saying that he had turned around and attacked the police officer who was trying to apprehend him. I begin to believe that maybe this young man wasn't so perfect as people like to try to make him perfect. Maybe there was more going on. I mean, one, he stole cigars out of a convenience store. He pushed the owner around and intimidated him. Then he gets out there on the street, and the police officer wants him to get out in the middle of the street, and they just start cussing the police officer. And then he comes in to attack the police officer. What was wrong with him? What was wrong with this kid? And he ain't a kid, he's 18-year-old. So at 18, you're a man, responsible for your actions that you did. And he paid for his actions the worst world's way. Yeah, I think you should find out the truth, find out really what happened. But let's not convict and try this officer before all the evidence comes in. Because I'm beginning to think that the officer might have been in his rights to defend himself. I mean, if somebody was coming after me and they'd already hit me, broken bones in around my eye, and I had a gun, yeah, I'd fight back and I'd use the gun. Sorry, I would. Black, white, I don't care who you are. If you come and you attack me and you hit me, you hurt me, and I know you're coming back after me again to hurt me even worse, maybe kill me, I'm going to shoot you. I will. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling you how it is. I will shoot you. Dead, if need be. If I shoot you once and you don't turn around and get on your knees to be arrested, and you keep coming towards me, I will kill you. That's the fear. It's flight or fight syndrome that people get in their lives when they're in a particular moment of struggling to make sure they survive. Well, now the officer survived, and he's being belittled, tore down, just because a governor is afraid to stand by the Constitution and apply his police officers that are in his state. I tell you people, next election day, when that governor comes up to be reelected to be governor, vote him out. Vote him out. He's not defending the Constitution of the United States, because everyone is innocent until proven guilty, and he's already saying this person needs to be convicted, prosecuted. And you know what? He's not letting the court system carry out its business. He, by saying this stuff and it going on TV, is polluting the mind of those people that will stand in there to judge, to find out what's the truth and what they should do about this officer. And I know if the officer isn't arrested and tried, it may get worse. But I tell you what I would do if I was governor. He's already sent in the National Guard. I would sort everybody out. Everybody that is not a citizen of this town. If they're outsiders that come in to help cause trouble, I would arrest every one of them. You better believe it. If I had to go and send them into other towns, to jails, I would arrest every outsider that come into that town and get them out from amongst the residents of that town. Because I believe, as far as the way the residents are talking, they want them out. They want them gone. They want them to go home. Let them handle it. But you got the troublemakers all the way from California. Oh my God, what are you doing out here in Missouri? Go back to California. Or whatever state you're coming from, or whatever town other than Fargo. What in the heck are you doing there? This is citizens of that town should be handling this and protesting if they want to. Not the outsiders. But I would want every one of you outsiders arrested immediately. Not later, immediately. I believe if you get them all arrested and you give the town to settle down, this nonsense would end. I really believe it. But when you get agitators from outside coming in, they ain't got nothing to lose. They don't own a house there. They don't own no land there. They don't own no business there. All they wanting to do is come in and cause trouble. And they need to be ran out or arrested. And not allowed to do this. If you're not a citizen of that town, get out. And don't come back. The truth needs to be found out. And if this is true that's coming out now, the officer needs to be let go. I don't know if he could ever live in that town again because of so animosity. He might even have to move away and not be a police officer in that town anymore because of the animosity. But why destroy a man for defending his own life? Why destroy a man's career doing his job? Doing his job. He had just got the call about this, and he was looking at the perpetrators that did the strong arm robbery right in the face. It was his duty to get out of the car and arrest him. But that young man would rather fight the police officer over a few deals of cigars and try to beat that police officer up over a few handful of cigars. And I'm sorry for his mother and father, but your child was not innocent, by no means. Not belittling his name, just telling the truth. It's on video camera in the store. Your child committed a crime. If he would have surrendered to the police officer and let him arrest him instead of beating on the police officer and escalating it to where the police officer had to defend for his life and kill your son would have been in jail. Then you could have been digging up the money to get a lawyer, and he would have been alive. But no, he chose to fight for whatever reason. I'm not accusing you guys, but did you teach him to fight because he was black and the police officer was white? Did you teach him shreds of disrespect for a white police officer? Did you help teach him to be prejudiced? I mean, I'm saying, I'm not trying to put you down, but I'm saying this young man had a lot of problems, I can see now. And all his problems, whether learned at home or on the street, cost him his life. Cost him his life. And now it's going to destroy a young police officer's life because of this. And what does it gain? What does it profit you? Nothing. It's not going to bring your son back to life. No, it won't. And has your son been a bully before in that town to other people? Because what I seen, he was being a bully to that store owner. He wanted what he wanted, and he was going to take it no matter what. And he did. So I'm sorry that this is getting blown out of proportion. And you know what? It's been pretty well proven he didn't have his hands up. He had his hands down when he was shot. It's a sad event. It really is. But the truth needs to come out. And if the dirt falls upon the young man, so be it. If it falls upon the police officer, so be it. But with the eye thing and hitting the eye and breaking the bones and stuff, I don't even know if that police officer could have seen that clear to even shoot the young man, because you get your eye damaged, it's going to be watering, it's hurting, and you're afraid that you're going to be killed. You're fighting for your life. People, before you start jumping to conclusions like I did with my first videos, you need to look at the whole thing. The whole thing. We need to know. I think what you'll find out is totally is going to be totally a different viewpoint on what you've been led to believe. So I'm just going to put it that way. I just pray for the truth to come out in this matter, the real truth of the whole matter. And I don't know why anybody is not investigating this young man's background and what his past was like and what other things that he might have done. I know he's dead. I know, don't even think that. I know some of you will be going, well, he's dead. He already, but sometimes you've got to go back into the past of the victim to find out what motivated him to steal the cigars, bully the owner of the store around, and then come and attack the police officer. You need to check his background and see if there was a repetitive action of him bullying people around, because he's so big, so intimidating type. I'm putting this out to you. Think about it. Think about it, whether you agree with me or not, but just think about it. Bless everybody in the name of Jesus Christ. Oh, and yes, pray for the man that got beheaded today over there by by ISIS, the reporter that had been captured for 2 years and held in captivity, and then taken out into the desert and his head cut off, killed, because he's American. And I watched the film. I didn't put the film on Facebook. It's horrendous what happened and how that ISIS person talked to America and talked to the president. It's only the beginning. They've got 2 other people captured, and we'll more than likely see them drug out to the desert and their heads cut off, because they're telling America to quit bombing over there in Iraq and bombing them. But we cannot give in to them. If we give in to them, they've won, even at the cost of the other 2's lives, because they're threatening to cut their heads off too if we don't stop bombing them. It's a good thing I'm not president, because I would send a message over there and said, you think it's going to make me quit bombing you with you cutting our American people's head off? You're mistaken. It's going to get very bad on you guys, because I'm coming after you to take you all out. I know that's a challenge, but you don't give in to terrorists when they threaten you. Even when they have hostages, you don't give in. You just don't give in, because once you give in, you give away our country. So, President Obama, get off of your vacations and get in the White House and start being the president, and do not give in to these terrorists. Bomb the crap out of them. That's all I can say to you. That's what I have to say, people. Good night.